Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you very, very much for all your support. You guys have been super amazing and super awesome, but I'm gonna ask you for a favor. I give you these shows once a week for free, and I put a lot of time and blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm totally bullshitting you. I do need a favor though. I do give you these shows every week for free. And if you subscribe on iTunes, if you would leave me a 5-star rating, I would appreciate it. If you would leave me a glowing review, I would appreciate that as well. Make sure it glows like sparkles and shit. That'd be awesome. It just helps other people find the show. And I'm trying to grow this thing, or I should say we are trying to grow this thing as big as we possibly can. And I need your help to do so. So if you would spread the word, share the show as much as you can. And remember that you can get the show on Podbean, which is my home. You can get it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. You can get it on my YouTube channel, Castbox, Stitcher, and I think there's a couple other places that I don't even know that I'm on, but I'm apparently on. Overcast, something like that. It's the one Jesse Vest listens to. Anyway, if you would go to any of those places where you are able to leave a review, I just know you can do it on iTunes. If you would leave me a review, I would appreciate it. Trying to make this thing as big as possible. I'm really loving what I'm doing. I'm learning a lot about my friends, and I've got some cool stuff coming up this summer. Probably going to hang out with some people I don't even know. May have some people in here I've never even met before, which is going to be really awesome. Toying with the idea of some merch. So if you guys would be into that, hit me up and let me know. The email address, in case you don't read the descriptions of the shows, which you need to, it is barstarpodcast@gmail. Hit me up there. You can hit me up on the Facebook page. You can hit me up on my personal Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. There's probably a MySpace page too somewhere. Who knows? Who knows any of this shit? Like I said, thank you as always for the support. You guys have been awesome, but I do need your help, so I am asking for a favor. You guys feel free to pimp me out. You can tell a friend, tell a wrestler, tell a carrier pigeon, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your mom and them, tell your cousins, sisters, aunts, uncles, tell whoever you need to. Feel free to pimp me out, but just spread the word about the Bar Star Podcast as much as you can, and I would greatly appreciate it. And now on to whoever the hell I'm about to hang out with.
The Bar Star Podcast is a show that aims for something a little different. It's hosted by a drummer who thinks he's a musician. But let's be honest. I know and you know that drummers are not musicians, right? Or are they? Hang on a second. Who wrote this crap? This is garbage. Nobody's going to listen to a show put on by somebody they haven't heard of. Stupid.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Bar Star Podcast. I am your host, a finally not fucking stuffy Stephen O'Reilly. Thank you guys for hanging out with me once again. Thank you guys for checking back in with the show, and thank you for continuing your downloads and your streams, your support, your subscriptions, your reviews. I really, really appreciate it. Also, be sure you check out my sponsor, Prophecy Inc. You go into the shop and mention the Bar Star Podcast. You will get 10% off any tattoo by any artist in the shop, which I think is awesome. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody is doing well. And as always, I hope you guys went out and did some shit. As you can tell from the description of the show, I am not flying solo today. I like it when you do that because nobody can see you. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's just me and you.
And our buddy Sebastian.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Your new friend Sebastian.
Nice.
I am hanging out with my buddy, Mr. Erik McEwen. How are you, sir?
I'm great. A little scared.
Why?
A little scared.
Why are you scared?
I've listened to so many great shows of yours, and then you bring me on? So not only am I afraid of being boring to you and to the listeners, I'm also afraid that you might make me cry.
Well, I would never make you cry. And if I do, I would hold you.
Because I think you might get bored. You might go a little Barbara Walters on me.
Baba Wawa?
Baba Wawa. And then get some tears coming out of me. As I get older, I get more of my feelings.
All right. Well, I've done this pretty much on almost every episode, so I'll do one early just for you.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Stop it. Stop.
So, how's things? How's life?
Good, man. It's a great day.
Beautiful day today.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's a little warm in here. Gotta be
hung
honest
out
with
with
you.
a
My
friend of
office is
yours
a little
today.
warm. Who? I don't have any friends.
Yeah. He sent a message.
Oh shit.
I was hanging on the patio with Mr. Chuck Willis,
Never heard of him.
and he told me to tell you and Ruby Falls.
Oh my God.
And he made me swear to do this
On the show.
on the show. I love that guy. He's fun to hang out with,
Fucking hate his face.
but it's so pretty.
Hi, Chuck.
So, Ruby Falls?
Okay, here.
I mean,
No. I'll go ahead and tell the story, but I was trying to make this more about you and your amazing bass playing and some of the extracurricular things you do. Stop rubbing my foot. It's making me twitch. But the Ruby Falls story. Fuck you, Chuck. We made so many trips to Atlanta when Heaven Hill was recording the Somewhat Civil record, because that's where we recorded it. So we would go down to Atlanta. I think my date memory sucks. Most people know that. But if I had to guess, when we recorded that record, we probably went to Atlanta 7 to 10 times in a 2-month period. Could be wrong, but the point is, if you've ever gone from here to Atlanta, there's the 14 million signs that say Ruby Falls.
right.
So the second or third trip, I got really bored. And every time I would see the Ruby Falls sign, I would wait till it got really quiet and I'd go, Ruby Falls! And piss everybody off. So that's what the Ruby Falls thing is.
So you're not just a Billboard reader, because those guys
I'm a
are going on
Billboard
trips with them.
screamer.
Apparently, Ruby Falls.
I don't know what it was. And then it got to the point where I knew it was pissing off everybody.
And
So
then
I just
you
did it more.
Yeah, 'cause
Don't tell
that's
me
you.
it's pissing you off. I'm going to do it. I'm like a fucking 5-year-old. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? This annoys you? Oh, yeah? This annoys you? So that's the Ruby Falls story.
Well,
So,
cool.
Anyway, enough about that.
Glad I was not in that van.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that the guys still give me shit about it. Obviously.
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 But 10 years later?
I've been out of that band for 9 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been out of the band for 9 years, but I guess we did record that record 10 years ago. Wow.
Not only my friend, I'm a fan.
Aw, thanks, but you also made me feel old. Fuck. I know I'm old, but
You
damn.
don't need me to do that.
That is so true. So, what is happening musically with you? Because you and I, we don't know each other very, very well. We've had that weird kind of almost hallway sex where we're going to do it, and then we never do it. Something happens, you get busy, I say no. That's only for you. You will get that. I'm not explaining that. This is why I want a camera in here, because your face is amazing right now. You're like, dude.
How did we meet?
That's it. Show's over. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. We either
just know each
met through Chase or we met through Kerr, and I don't remember which one.
Okay. And I met Chase through Kerr.
So then probably Kerr. More than likely Kerr.
Which is fine with me. Love that guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. I knew you'd say that.
It's too easy, man.
Right.
They're like softball pitches.
Oh,
Here,
no.
swing at that thing. That's for my close friends that know I hate Go Sports. That I made
sports
a sports
ball?
reference on my
Yeah.
show. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll go with Kerr. But what musical situation are you in right now?
And for a
I want
few
to talk
people-
about you.
Well, I'm a bass player.
You're pretty damn good. I've seen
What?
you.
You've never seen me play. When have you ever seen me play?
I just saw you play about 3 weeks ago.
Really?
In an acoustic trio, which playing bass in an acoustic trio is a little fucking hard to do, and you did it very well. Don't fuck with me.
Thank you. We can do this on the microphone?
High five in a microphone.
Well, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what you got now?
I mean, still.
See, you assumed I was ill-informed, and you were wrong.
Well, I mean, anybody can go to the bathroom, take a crap, and get on my Facebook, but that's fine.
Damn it!
Ha! Busted. No, I mean, playing with Speaker, Matt and Mac, Matt Moore, Matt Kiefer, Paul Colligan, myself. It's so much fun.
Well, you're playing with Paul Culligan.
Well,
duh.
I've done it before. Yeah.
Well,
I
I diddled him once. I mean, I played with him once.
Yeah, no, Polly's great. Matt and Mac, they're younger guys that are incredibly talented.
Is Matt Kiefer that guitar player with the beautiful hair?
He's got beautiful hair.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know.
In a nice way.
I mean, that's why I always wear a hat.
Yeah.
And I need to figure out when I can commit to the full shave.
Just do it.
No, my head's weird. I got a weird head.
You think you have a weird head. I thought I had a weird head, and come to find out, it's damn near perfect.
You got a perfect head.
Mm-hmm. Your hair was long at one point, I am assuming, like the rest of us.
Yes, I had long hair.
Did you tie it in a tight ponytail?
Not only, in the 90s, I would have it cut underneath.
Oh, you had the Jason Newsted.
I did at one point.
It's easier to say that than explain what that haircut actually is.
Yeah, but it wasn't that long, but it was, the grunge.
Well, then if you've pulled it back in a tail, you know that your head's round or not.
Well, you know what? That was a long time ago.
I got some shit in the bathroom, brother. We can pause this and shave your head.
You know what? When you get a camera in here,
you'll let me shave your motherfucker.
Know.
I got Facebook Live on my phone. I hold my phone with one hand and a razor in the other.
So I'm doing that. So I'm doing Speaker.
Okay, yes. Back to seriousness.
I'm playing with Rockadelic's back.
Nice.
So playing once again with my brother, Ronnie Watchmaker.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Chico, Christian Tonagawa, and we have a new singer, Amber Steele. Oh, sorry. She goes by, it's Nikki Steele in Rockadelic. Don't ask. It's not me. It's not my call. But anyway, she crushes it. She's great. And so we have fun with that.
Was that dramatic pause I did, was that long enough? That was pretty good,
that's
right?
why you need a camera, because you held your head. And
I know. I just kind of looked down.
Yeah.
No, she is a great singer. I've
She's
only seen
great.
her sing. She is great. I've only seen her sing one time at the Levee with Slinky Jenkins, I think. Mm-hmm. And I had never seen her before. And this was recently, probably past 4 months. And I had never seen her, and she was really, really good.
So
Chico came and sweated on me, and it was just gross.
She and I have an acoustic duo as well, and I played with her last night. And
nice.
Christian played with us as well. That was a good time.
Very cool.
So do that. Still playing with Chase. We're playing tomorrow night.
Wait, is that guy that never calls?
Well, I mean,
Wait, he never calls me.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You know the joke about that, right?
I don't. You don't even need you to tell me, because I have one myself. Sorry, Chase. Love you. But no, I mean, so we still do that, and we do this Joe's party, and Joe's Older Than Dirt. 300 of your closest friends all hanging out, and,
right?
And that guy captivates.
Oh well, that's where I saw you playing with the acoustic trio I talked about a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there 2-3 weeks ago. I don't remember how long it was, and
that was fun.
I'm not 100% sure when this will post, but yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was the first time I saw you with a trio, and I don't remember the full band I saw you with last year. I know it was one of them. My memory blows, but that's the 2 times I've seen you.
Just imagine if you drank and did drugs. What your memory would be like.
Many fucking reasons I don't drink or do drugs.
Right.
Many reasons. One
Your
of them,
filter.
Oh yeah, you think it's bad when I'm sober? Jesus fucking Pete.
Your ADD.
I don't know if I'm actually ADD or not. No, Stacy and I have been together almost 10 years, and she's seen me drunk maybe 6 times. 7's pushing it. And Todd will get a kick out of this. Because I just have to throw him under the bus because it's fun for me. every episode. We got hammered a couple years ago at our old house, and we had this big fire pit out back. And somehow or another, when I'm drunk, not only am I truth serum, or I'm on truth serum, my Yankee comes out and I get really fucking loud. Yeah, it's funny. I'm not an asshole. I'm just, don't ask me questions you don't want answers to. So it was probably 3 a.m. and we were all hammered and something about sex came up. And
Oh, no.
the neighborhood we lived in was a bunch of old people. And then us. And me. Apparently, I decided it would be a fantastic idea to stand on my benches in my backyard near my fire pit and scream at the top of my lungs that Stacy and I still fuck.
Right on.
Yeah. That's why I don't get drunk in public.
Is
because
that
I
your
do shit
golden
like
God
that.
moment?
I don't know what it was.
So when you do drink the 6-7 times over a decade, what is it?
Usually when I'm around family. Oh, you mean what do I drink?
Yeah, because that could have a lot to do with it.
It could. I'm usually either vodka, and then a couple years ago, and go ahead and call me a pussy, I'll get it out of the way first. 2-3 years ago, I discovered Red's ale, apple ale. I actually really like them. They're fucking good. And then when we
Really bad for you.
everything's fucking bad for you. Well, that night we were at our house. I drank a 6-pack of Reds and a 5th of Fireball by myself. So somebody with no tolerance drinking that much, yeah, I was gone.
You call that angry balls when you mix like the apple beer cider
Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I drink a lot of those when I drink,
Ooh.
but I don't drink much. So it's
Okay.
I have no tolerance. I am a cheap, slutty date. I mean, I'm a inexpensive taker-outer person.
Duly noted.
You don't have to pay me nothing. I'm free for you.
Oh God.
So, because we don't know each other so well, and
Yeah.
I don't do an interview format, I will ask you a few questions that I genuinely don't know. For example, how old are you? Because I don't know.
39.
Oh, you're a young buck.
I'll be 40 in 4 months.
Yeah, but you're not 40 yet.
Not yet.
So you still have that
Depending
3.
on when you air this.
Oh, it'll be way before 4 months.
So yeah, I'll be 40. But I'm not much younger than you. I'm only 5 years younger than you, I think. Are you 44?
Fuck you, get off my show. Beat it.
40.
I'm 43.
43.
Yeah. I'll be 44 at the end of this year. My birthday's in December. No, I will not tell you the date.
Okay,
I hate my
good.
birthday. But that's time reference.
Got
I'll be
it.
44 at the end of the year.
Okay, so we're not that far apart.
Nah, we're
No.
not. I just have the 4 in front of my name or in front of my age, and you don't.
I'm going to hang on to it.
You should.
I'm living every day like I'm
You
39.
You should be 39 for the next 39 years.
So dealing with, the stomach issues and the joint pain and my lack of memory. And this is going to be a great 4 months. Yeah.
And then when you turn 40, it all goes to shit.
And, well, I think I've got a head start.
It's not that bad. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I told him I was 43, and they didn't believe me. And it was a guy, and he was like, dude, you're in great fucking shape. Well, I was like, first of all, I'm not in great shape. I'm just pseudo-thin. I have my girdle on.
You're tiny.
I wouldn't say I was tiny.
I mean, you're petite.
Petite?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been called petite
I can
before.
put my arms all the way around you and still,
Well, you're a big dude.
I'm not that big.
How tall are you?
6'2", maybe.
To me, that's big. I'm 5'9.5" on a good day.
Oh yeah.
A good day. If I'm standing up super straight, I can hit 9 3/4.
So wait till you turn 44 and you're not able to do that.
No, I'll be like 5'8.5". As soon as I turn 44, I'm gonna lose an inch. But anyway, the joke, I thought it was pretty funny because he said I was in good shape, and I was, no, dude, I have my girdle on. It's just ugly. But the reason I asked how old you are, back on track, is how long have you been playing bass? And was bass your first instrument? I know it's a two-parter, but
Bass to 20 years.
nice.
Off and on. My second instrument.
Second?
Second. I started on guitar. And I started late. I was listening to Chuck, when he started in middle school, and I know Ronnie started when he was young. I started, I didn't grow up in a musical family.
Right. I didn't either. I share that with you. I get it.
Not at all. And
Now they had. Let me rephrase that. And I'm not getting off on a tangent, but they played records a lot, but none of them were musical at all.
No, we I can remember my first 2 cassettes were Michael Jackson's Thriller and In the Dark by the Grateful Dead. And
How the fuck do you remember that shit?
dude, I remember so much about my childhood. But
That's good.
But Thriller was my dad's. He also had, Best of Earth, Wind and Fire Volume 1.
Oh,
and
nice.
ELO Discovery. But that was all he had as far as music.
Gotcha.
That was it.
Did ELO Discovery, is that the one that had Telephone Line on it?
Don't know. I haven't listened to Discovery since I was probably 6 years old.
I love that song. It's the only ELO song I can ever recall. But now when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's ELO. Yeah. I think it's Telephone Line. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, carry on.
Great line. Yeah, it was a great song. So, didn't grow up musical family, but I always had an interest in it.
Right.
Always. And, I wanted to play guitar when I was young. My dad's like, no, here's a trombone. And and I just couldn't play trombone. I
don't think I could either.
Big, and it took away from school. And I was, back then I cared about school because I was in 4th grade. And
I'm going to be in 5th grade, damn it.
I'm going to be great at it. So
It's going to be awesome.
But, I was never that great in sports and everything. And, my friends had guitars. And then I started working at record stores. And I knew people in the scene. So, graduated high school, got a guitar, locked myself away for 2 years.
Nice. So you didn't start till you graduated high school, basically.
Yeah, I
And
started on guitar.
you're from Louisville, right?
Born and raised.
Okay, cool.
So, I got a guitar.
Damn, you did start late.
I did. So, I played guitar. I went to guitar lessons religiously.
Right.
I practiced all the time. I locked myself away. And I didn't really do much. I had a girlfriend, and I'd go to work, and I'd come home, go to class, and come home, and I'd pick up the guitar and read guitar magazines and go to my guitar lessons. And
Nice.
did that for about a year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm bored. So
Not nice.
and I wasn't that great. I mean, I knew I can play any chord and understand it, but like I love R&B music, and I came up listening to, it was really weird, R&B, jam, and metal. Zeppelin was like my big thing, and I love Zeppelin.
I don't know if that's necessarily that weird, and here's why, because I don't talk about my childhood very much. I very rarely do. I wasn't beaten or anything. It kind of fucking sucked. But I remember my parents were into Neil Diamond when I am still a huge Neil Diamond fan. I've said it on the show 3 or 4 times. You probably can't see it from where you're sitting, but I have a Neil Diamond box set right there. And I have probably, inside that blue cabinet behind you, probably 3 or 4 more Neil Diamond records. I don't have his entire collection. But I remember my mom listening to Neil Diamond, and then she would listen to Engelbert Humperdinck, who I absolutely hate. Can't do it.
Yeah, I don't see how you could.
Can't do it. Neil Diamond, genius.
Yeah.
Humpy, his fucking nickname was Humpy.
Humpy.
I can't do it. But the point I'm getting at, why I can see what you were hearing and what you were listening to is not that far of a stretch, because I had my older brother who had Kiss, Zeppelin, Sabbath. So it was kind of this mix. And then my pop was into, they were divorced, but when I would hang out with him or be around him, he's all into hot rods and all this kind of shit. So that kind of 50s kind of rockabilly and all that kind of stuff kind of bled over into what he listened to, just because of the hot rod culture and stuff. So that's kind of where my shit was. So I get exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I remember my mom's brother had this enormous 45 collection, and I had a Fisher-Price record player. That's how I got into R&B, was Motown.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would sit there and run my own radio shows, when I was a kid, and play the Four Tops and Temptations, and I mean, good grief, when Pet Sounds, like Give Me Pet Sounds when I'm a kid. I'm like, oh, that's that thing from Star Trek. That's like really cool, Right. And then so that was my love of R&B came into it. And then,
Gotcha.
So I feel like I'm a fan and student of groove.
Which is good as a bass player, I'm just saying.
So
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I kind of need to. So that was my thing, that like I just wanted to get onto the bass.
So you basically got, see what I did there?
I like it, yeah.
High five in the microphone. Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, look at the elbow.
I know. So you basically abandoned guitar for bass because of that groove of the early Motown stuff.
And then I realized, I was like, I don't know how to do this. You know, I'm like, man, I can play like any minor seventh, diminished, any chord. I don't know how to groove on a bass.
Well, how'd you figure it out?
Took a while.
Motown?
Well, yeah. Well, then I had a squirrel moment when I'm in the guitar shop. I found a Les Paul. I'm like, all right, well, I want this Les Paul. So I'm back playing guitar a little bit. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just driving myself crazy. And then I figured it out.
Nice.
Yeah. Wilson Pickett songs did it for me. In the midnight hour.
I couldn't tell you who his bass player was, but a lot of those.
Duck Dunn.
Thank you. A lot of those early grooves were just nasty on that stuff.
Dude,
Now, I didn't discover that stuff till later in life. That's where mine is a little backwards. But I was going to tell you before I tell you that part, and I don't think I've ever talked about it on the show. I know I wrote about it in the book. My first instrument was guitar.
What?
Mm-hmm. Funny story because it's very short. I bought, true story, I can't make this shit up. I bought a canary yellow BC Rich Warlock. I remember this guitar
they made
distinctly.
Those in canary yellow?
They did. It was hideous. And somewhere in that closet behind me that has 18 padlocks on it, there's a picture with me holding that guitar. It's a hard copy. But here's why the story's funny. It lasted about 4 days. This, and for those who can't see me, I look like I have a claw in my left hand right now.
Yeah.
Never made sense to me.
Right.
I could not, the fretboard drove me batshit. I could not figure it out. And I had always kind of paid attention to drummers before that, and obviously since then, but I was like, I'm going to play guitar, yeah. Because my buddy was a guitar player. Like, he's really good, I'm going to play guitar too. I bought the guitar before I even picked one up. It's like, I like that one. And I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I ended up giving it to him. I don't even think I made any money back on it. I was like, here, dude, you can have this shit. And I went and got some drums.
Nice.
That's pretty much the very, very short version. I don't think I've ever told that on the show. I know I wrote about it in the book. But how I did everything backwards is I dove straight into metal. Canary Yellow BC Rich. I was already there.
Right.
But it was super heavy shit forever. And then
like
I
super
got...
heavy, like what?
Well, I'm 43, so that would have been early to mid 80s. So I went straight into Slayer and Testament and what's that fucking band? Death Angel. I can't remember when their time period was, but I was massively into them for a while. But I got into the thrash bands, of course, the Big Four, Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth.
So you were drove right into Rain and Blood.
Yes, I drove right into that shit.
Such a great album.
It was, and ironically, it's the only one that I actually liked.
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially looking back, knowing what I know musically now. The rest of the Slayer records, I was like, yeah, they were good for what they were, but Rain and Blood was good.
Were you with Anthrax?
Where am I with Anthrax?
Yeah.
State of Euphoria is probably my favorite Anthrax record.
Man, I think I'm backwards on that. Worship Music. Was it 2012 when that album came out?
Yes.
I think it's one of the heavy. I think it's so damn good. I think it's their best record.
I think for what they've done in their entire career, I would agree with you that is their best record. But for me, listening, State of Euphoria.
Right.
And it's probably because of the time period I heard it. I was doing whatever was going on. I don't remember how old I was, but I just remember seeing Scott Ian running around with his skullet.
Yeah.
And they were doing Antisocial. And I used to think that... I used to think that was the hardest thing in the world to play. And I was like, I'm going to figure that shit out one day.
Right.
And it's a super simple groove now that I know musically what it is. It's not as hard, but it was the way Charlie Benanti played it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know. I was still figuring out drums. So then I went from the heavy shit into the hair metal. I went backwards. And then I stayed in hair metal forever. And then I stayed in Iron Maiden world forever. And then I stayed in Dream Theater world forever.
I can understand the Dream Theater, definitely.
Yes. And then, I don't remember the time period. We're going to call it mid-90s, just because my memory sucks. I sat down and I listened to Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes, her first record. And that blew my fucking mind. And that I've talked about on the show before. That record blew my mind. And then ever since then, I've not steered away from metal as far as I don't listen to it anymore or any of that kind of shit. I just completely went, all right, I've been in this fucking world for umpteen years. I'm going over here. I just discovered what groove is. This drummer just fucking played a song for 3 minutes and didn't hit a crash.
Right.
I don't understand that. I need to find out why. And that's where I went. And then so I started taking all that bullshit that I learned from the metal world. And then drummers like Matt Chamberlain, who plays for Doremus, guys like him, I started taking their shit. And then that's where I started to become, I guess, what I am now. Not real sure. But I was taking all these elements. But that's what I mean when I say I did it backwards. Like, I didn't grow up trying to emulate my parents' music or my brother's music, learning their shit. I just went straight into metal. I was like, I'm going to go, Slayer, those guys look scary. Let's listen to that. That's pretty much where I went. So there you go. So there's a short version of how I became what I am. Once you started playing bass, how did you figure out what direction you wanted to go as far as what kind of bass player you wanted to be?
I just liked anything that moved and grooved, you know. So it was like, I love Motown.
That's why you watch me walk all the time.
Yeah. You caught me. I knew you were looking back at me.
I got eyes in the back of my head. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like I just really like, because I always switch back between bass and guitar.
Right.
Like, you know, when I learned a lot from playing with Dennis Irvin when I got my main start in Louisville. I was playing guitar with him.
Now, who is that? Because that name doesn't ring a bell.
Dennis Irvin, in my opinion, was a legend in town. He has since passed. Amazing guitar player. Very big with R&B and blues. He says he doesn't like blues, but he can play the blues, and he did so very well.
Well, the asshole in me just had the question: what's the B stand for in R&B?
Exactly. But you know, when he picked me up, I was playing guitar,
right?
And I had just come up with like rock arrangements of Stevie Wonder songs to translate well to acoustic.
Gotcha.
I would sit at home and try to figure all that out because I wanted to be out playing Stevie and
right.
Marvin and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And, but at the heart of me, you know, in the 90s, this whole neo soul thing came around. So I'm listening to Maxwell. I'm still listening to Maxwell and D'Angelo and Raphael Sadiq.
Dude, I'm all about some Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Oh, dude.
That first record was so good. Now, granted, he fucked his own career up, put his foot in his mouth and all that shit. But that first record, that's a great record.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a precursor to that whole neo soul
Oh,
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was even precursor to like New Jack Swing and all that.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of.
He was a little ahead of his time.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I'd
then
say
he had
so.
to go fuck it up by putting his foot in his mouth, but whatever. Sorry,
but I think that first Maxwell album, I still listen to it. I have it on vinyl. You know, the first two D'Angelo albums I listen to. So I was listening to a lot of that. Oh, dude, Brown Sugar. You give me that look. Like,
no, I'm looking at the ceiling going through my mental musical Rolodex. I don't really have a name for it.
Shit Damn Motherfucker.
I've got it now. I've got the first record. I can't remember the second record.
Second one. Had that MTV video. It was Untitled, and he just sat there with his shirt off and sang to a camera. And that was it. And that song
I know what you're talking about.
Incredible. So but I always had that. And then I remember I had gone back to playing bass, and I had discovered a lot of like Bronx mid 80s like fusion jazz players like Marcus Miller, David Sanborn, Omar Hakim drums, one of my favorites. And I'm like, you know, I was talking to my now since ex-wife, I was like, I want to learn how to make those melodies
right
and play with those rhythms. So I learned a lot about rhythm. I studied rhythm.
Oh, did you?
Crazy.
Now, did you go to any kind of school, or did you just take lessons and just study your ass off?
I took theory classes in college,
gotcha.
You know, and I would have these aha moments, you know, like, oh, so this is why this, and I just get up and walk right out of the class and go to my dorm and tune my guitar a certain way, and then like, ooh, that's a Days of the New song. So, I would do those types of things.
Nice.
And bass was always just there. And, you know, my first real band, I was a bass player.
Gotcha.
And but I always wanted to make it funky. And I would sit and study rhythms and look up online about rhythms and listen to talks with Hakeem and Questlove and all these great drummers about how to emphasize and how to make dynamics and how to make an emphasis through the rhythm.
Right.
Not being a flash guitar player doing something. How do you do that in the rhythm? How do you convey it and move somebody's swing a little differently? And I learned how to do that.
No, I get that, and you saw that look on my face a second ago where I got excited. Some dude, and he's a drummer, and because his comment was so stupid, I will not name him on my show, even though I'm known for that. He will get annihilated, so I'm just going to leave his name out of it. But he asked me, and I quote, "Man, what the fuck's so great about Questlove?" And I looked at him and I said, if you have to ask me that question, you need to walk the fuck away from me.
I think I have an idea who that might be.
He couldn't get it. It just didn't register. And I went, don't even talk to me. Get the fuck away from me. Just go study and then come back and talk to me. But I get it that those are the guys that... This is where I want a camera, kids, because Eric and I are both looking down at my left foot, holding Sebastian down and gently rubbing him so he will not talk. But maybe I should just make him talk and just let him have his own damn segment.
And he's making biscuits on your carpet.
Oh, yeah. Well, usually it's in my foot. Given about 30 seconds, he's going to bite my toe. Trust me.
Looking forward to that.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Mr. Buddy.
Anyway, it's cool that you're talking about Marcus Miller and David Sanborn and stuff, because when I went to AIM, which most people know I did, and as I reiterate every episode, I wasn't born into music school. Louisville musicians. I didn't go till I was almost 30.
Now you're that
Louisville
kid.
musicians. Fuck. Anyway, when I went, I started discovering guys like Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller as well, and all those cats. Yeah. And then I started going towards the jazz thing, and I got into... I hate that they call it smooth jazz, but saying it on the show, people will get what I'm talking about. Like the David Sanborns and all that kind of stuff. And
some of the stuff wasn't that smooth.
No. Some of it was not. But
it was funky.
Oh, dude, it was so nasty. But the reason I bring it up is because one of my drum instructors had me listen to, and you may or may not laugh, I'm not 100% sure, but people that are listening will probably laugh because they think this guy's a joke. They had me listen to the Kenny G live album. Have you ever heard that record? That live record?
Yes.
So can you agree with me that record is fucking amazing?
His band was so gnarly.
Dude, they were just fucking nasty.
Couldn't name one musician in that band.
Couldn't either.
Don't care.
Drummer's name was Michael. I do remember that. I don't know why I remember that. I don't know his last name, but his first name was Michael. And do you want a little fun fact about Mr. Kenny G? Dude's had a damn near 35, 40-year career. Something like that. However long he's had a career. He owns the same 2 saxophones he started with.
Get out.
Yeah. I listened to an interview with him a couple months ago, and they were talking about his horns. Like, man, you must have a massive horn collection. He's like, nope, I have 2. The same 2 I started with. That, to me, my respect for that dude went up immensely, because he's like, I don't need a million fucking horns. That's how I blow into my horn, and that's what comes out.
Right.
I thought that was cool. But anyway, I started to get into all that shit, and now... Like when the whole year and a half or however long it took me to write my book, I always had in the background, I always had a smooth jazz channel playing constantly. And I started learning all these other fucking people.
And his children, in quotes, Chris Bodie and Boney James.
True.
Very, very similar. But, it's very G-esque, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And I love every bit of it because they can get a little funky. I mean, King G would get funky.
Dude, I think
I remember that live album when I was a kid.
It was so fucking good.
Dude.
I think he, unfortunately, like a lot of other great musicians, gets lumped into the shithole category by people because people are haters. I've said it on my show
Michael
before.
Bolton.
That motherfucker could sing his ass off.
Dude!
But he got lumped into that whole thing. And I think it's... And I don't want to get off on a whole tangent because I actually did a solo show about this. It was episode 4. I entitled it Elitist Music Snobs. If you haven't gone and listened to that show or that episode, you need to. Not you, just people listening. But I pretty much talked about that because if you don't like something, you don't like something and it's okay. It doesn't give you a license to shit all over it and say that it sucks and it's the worst. Is it really the worst thing ever or do you just not like it?
No. What is the worst thing ever?
Exactly.
And
you can't, in my opinion, you can't say that because you don't like something that somebody is not talented. I am not a Garth Brooks fan. Not a fan at all. You cannot deny that fucking dude's talent.
His songwriter's talents. is where I am with
Well,
all that.
True, but I'm also
Those are
talking
some
about
great songs.
Absolutely. In his live shows.
Oh, dude. Smashing those Takaminis up with each other. Like, get out of town. Who does that?
Right. But you can't deny the guy's talent. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. I do not own a Garth Brooks record, nor will I ever. But if I ever meet that dude, I will shake his hand and say, well fucking done, sir.
Here's my card.
Yeah. Well, there's that. But you get what I'm
Exactly.
saying. And I think Kenny G got lumped into that. I think Michael Bolton did too. And in fact, I think Michael McDonald did too, because his early shit, dude.
Well,
That is some funky shit that he was doing back in the day.
I think a lot of comedians were just on this kick of him with his voice and doing all that. And when he was doing those soul albums, you know, which he killed.
He killed him.
Yeah, he's so great.
Fucking killed him.
But I mean, that's another thing. We can jump ahead to and we'll talk about this later. But just because you have an opinion does not mean you have to be an asshole, because people say opinions are like assholes. Yeah, but they're also mutually exclusive. So if you have one, don't be one.
High five in a microphone, because I like that. That was a good one.
We're off top of dumpies.
Oh, man, look at you. All right, so before we move on to social media issues.
I'm not even close to that point yet.
What are you talking about?
I want to know more about you.
Oh, no. No. See, here's how this is going to work. Which is perfect that you said that, and I'm totally not going to edit that out. Because some people do not know, you are a co-host of your own podcast.
Yes.
Which means you want to know more about me, I got to be on your show.
Right, yeah.
Because you on my show, bitch.
You've been on my show.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really count that as being on your show.
Well, Shooting from a Lip is a great show.
It is. Well, it is now. Hi, Kev.
Wow.
You like that?
Yeah, I really enjoy the format that we have. I enjoy talking to my friends. I enjoy spotlighting local businesses and entrepreneurs. I love Kevin Cummings coming on for a few minutes every week and making us laugh.
Now, when did you jump onto, or get hooked up with, is a better word? Because I know Kevin Hale has had his show on. He's had his show for a while.
And
Kevin actually did promise me that he will be on my show eventually. Who knows when?
Well, but he should be. He's great.
He's all right. I'm just kidding.
When I was playing with Skinner, I still do, but when we had the big band, we were.
Oh, you mean the one that you never called me to play drums for? That one? I'm sorry, Chase never called me to play drums for that one.
I got called into that. Kerr was playing. Just thought I'd dig that in you. But
fuck you, Chase.
No, but Chase called. He's like, dude. He's like, I really like for you to do this show.
Right.
I was like, all right. So I called in, and Greg Unthank was one of the co-hosts at the time.
Right.
It's a guy I've played with before in a couple different acts.
Greg's a fantastic drummer,
dude.
He's so fucking good.
So
I don't know if he listens to my show, but if you do, Greg, you're a fucking phenomenal drummer.
No, he's incredible.
So good.
And one of the sweetest people on earth.
Well, I'm just kidding. He really is.
He's great.
Yeah, he's super nice.
So so I called in, and we had fun with it, and then I started seeing Kevin a lot more, and we'd talk and everything, and then a lot more of guys that I've played with or were playing with were on the show. So I sent him a text, be like, "Hey, I'm going to screw with this guy."
Right.
And then I started being a character, and I call in to screw with. I burned Corey Porter one night really bad. I got Chris Kerr so bad on that show. That was a good one. Basically, I would call in and with a certain voice and was a fan. Maybe a little overzealous, but I was a fan. And so, I was talking about Chris.
Wait, did you call in about the girls' jeans?
Yep, that was me. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, I says, dude, I was sitting out front of our place pub when I did that, man. It was freaking funny. So
I remember listening to that episode going, what fucking retard is, who cares?
Right.
Everybody knows, but who cares? Talk about that was good. Well played, sir. Well played.
And then I called in a couple other people, and then Watchmaker. I called him, and he was on the show once, and Kevin's like, okay, so we have a fan that's calling in. He said, I swear to God, if it's McEwen, I'm hanging up the phone.
And lo and behold, it was you.
Yeah, it was me. So then, Kevin and I were talking, and he wanted, and I co-hosted over the phone, and I was like, man, why don't you just come over to the house? Or Culligan and I would be on the show, but he and I would do it on the phone together, and that way he and I could talk better. And I'm just like, screw this. If you want me to be a part of it, this is what I'd like to do. What do you think? He's like, done.
Nice.
Let's do it live.
Nice.
Let's bring people in. Let's make it a thing.
Now, are you only doing it live every week, or are you going to do live plus, I guess, the format that I do, which is I record and then I edit and post
Only
it
live.
later? Only live. Gotcha.
It's shooting from the lip in and of itself, but
which is a great name, and I told Kevin that.
oh, dude, he
Love
kind
that
of knocked
fucking
it out
name.
of the park.
Oh, he totally did.
But it's shooting from the lip.
It's almost as cool as the Bar Star podcast.
I kind of like the Bar Star podcast. So
I'm just kidding, Kevin.
I was telling my mom today. She's like, "So, what podcast are you going to be on now?" I'm like, "Well, it's called the Bar Star." Oh, great! So you're a star of a bar.
Well, Mark.
Well, I've been called worse.
Sort of. Kind of where I got the fucking name. I'm just saying. No, that's pretty fun. And I told Kevin that, and you were there the day I told him. So I'm just blowing smoke. But I remember a few weeks ago when I did the first live show with you guys that I did when Kevin asked me to come do it. And I think I said on that show, because you record, you do the whole live thing, and you do the Facebook thing, but then you post the show later, correct? That
Right.
part is correct, right?
Right. We are recording audio right into the computer,
Right.
which gets
and then you post it later.
chopped up, and then we throw it out.
But I remember saying on that show, because you were giving me shit about it, because you told me I was kissing his ass. I was like, no, I really do love the fucking name of the show, and the logo's cool. And Kevin was like, well, I didn't do that. I was like, yo, yes, you did. Just take credit for it, Kevin.
Right.
It's great. I love it. No, I really do like the name. I was like, because I remember, and I talked about it on your show, and I'll touch on it briefly here. I remember thinking for a long time when I wanted to start a podcast. First, why did I want to start one? Second, I hate my own voice. And third, what the fuck am I going to call it? And then I went, well, just name it after the book.
Yeah.
Duh.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it made sense to me. And I was like, so that's how I came up with my name. And Shooting from the Lip was already taken.
But Kevin does such a great job producing that. He really is. And the format, the way we've kind of evolved, is that I don't know anything going on before I show up.
I didn't know shit before I showed up.
I don't go back. I don't research anybody. Sorry to all of our guests, but that's what that's kind of our format, is that I'm just popping off.
Right.
And I'm going to sit and have a conversation with you.
Well, and I think that's what makes it more. I think that's what makes it more interesting.
If I'm learning, then we're also letting everybody else know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of and then when my friends like you or any of the musicians in town, I'm going to sit and mess with you because we're having fun.
Duh.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things that, and we won't talk too long about this because fans of my show and your show that are going to be listening to this will start getting fucking bored. So you guys hang on for like 30 more seconds. We'll get to the point. I think that's one of the things that I wanted to avoid as well, because I listen to entirely too many podcasts.
Oh, dude.
And one of the things that starts to tend to annoy me is the ABC questions, 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 8.
Right.
Why did this happen this way? Who fucking cares? Now, I make the disclaimer that some people I know, a lot, like my episode I did with Todd, I didn't have to ask Todd anything.
Right. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. Some people, I don't know a whole lot about your background. I know you. You rub my butt all the time.
Well,
I mean, we
butt.
hug a lot. I mean, I watch you walk away.
I kiss the top of your head. And, yeah.
Well, everybody does because I'm fucking short.
And you're good cuddles.
I am good cuddles.
You are good cuddles.
I give good hugs. I'm squishy. But no, seriously, there are some questions that I ask here and there. But the point I'm getting at is, I think what makes this community interesting, the music community especially, is there's so many people we can have conversations with that we don't know. and we may never see again or may never even play with.
Right.
But whatever conversations we're having are actually fucking interesting.
Yeah.
For example, when I did your show, the first time I did Shooting from the Lip, I had a 30-minute conversation in the front of Baxter's with Jim Quickens, bass player. I learned so much about that dude. I was like, why the fuck don't I have a microphone on me?
Right.
But it wasn't not just because I wanted to do a podcast. It was fascinating. Like, he knows literally. There's one. He knows literally some of my drumming heroes. Like, they're friends of his.
Wow.
Not that I'm like, oh, let me suck up to you so I can meet these people. It was just mind-blowing because I'm going, how the fuck do I not know that you know all these people and you've done all these things?
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's the part that I find interesting. And that's the part that I find fascinating, which is why I hate to say I do my show like yours or you do yours like mine, but I don't do a whole lot of prep either, is the ultimate point I'm getting to.
Right.
Like, I didn't research shit when I said, you need to come over and do a show. I was like, I didn't research shit other than how to spell your name. Because there's 87 ways to spell McEwen. Come on, give me a break.
Dude, I know. And my first name, Erik.
That one actually didn't surprise me.
I was named after Eric Estrada.
Wow.
Yeah, it's out there. But, no.
You admitted that shit, too.
Dude, I'm almost 40 years old, man.
Just own it.
You know, I'm owning that. I've never seen Star Wars. All that stuff is out there.
Wait, what?
I've never seen a Star Wars movie. No, and it's not going to happen tonight.
We're going to be best friends because I haven't either.
Yeah.
When I tell people that, they look at me like I've got 14 heads.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested.
Don't care.
Don't care. I don't give a shit.
Not at all.
Don't give a fuck.
People have offered me money. People have offered me drugs. People have offered me anything to sit there and watch it. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen.
How much money?
Like $50 or like $50 per movie is what a buddy of mine said one day. He's like, give you $50 per. Isn't there like 1,000 of those things?
Yeah, I couldn't do it per movie, but if he was going to give me like $50 just to watch the first one, I'd have totally done it.
I was like, dude, I'll sit here and play bass for $50. Let
That'll
me do
totally
that.
do.
Yeah, man. It's got to be more interesting to a bass solo for 2 hours than Star Wars.
What happens when drums stop? Bass solo.
Right. No, but one thing about your show, going back to the content, is that I learned. I know Dave Moody. Mm-hmm. I know Chuck Deering. Mm-hmm. I call them friends. Hopefully, they think the same about me. But I'm newer to the scene. I didn't come up in the rock scene. I didn't even start playing rock live till a few years ago.
Gotcha.
In the groove scene and jam scene, but I learned so much. Even with all the bands I've played in. Anyway, he and I were like on the same scene at one point. I had no idea.
Right.
And that's going back to when I was playing like really crappy gigs, with bands that weren't all that great,
We call that paying your dues.
Right, yeah.
We've all done it.
And thank God, because I got some good phone calls over the years.
Absolutely. It happens. It's the way it happens.
But,
everybody's got to cut their teeth.
Yeah, and boy, I did.
Oof, dude,
I mean, if you could have seen some of this shitty gigs, man. Oh well. But you know what? I've had fun, and I'm blessed that we have a scene here in Louisville.
I am too. I've said it before, and I don't feel bad saying this, and I don't care who sends me hate mail. I do think that there's a few too many clicks. Get out of the fucking clicks.
Yeah, if you can see me right now, putting my finger on my nose. Yeah.
Get out of your clicks, people.
Yeah.
We're all in the same scene. We've all done the same shit. And even those of us, and I say us because I put myself in that category, that have done more, we're all still in the same fucking scene.
Yeah.
None of us are better than the other one.
No.
Get off that elitist bullshit. That's all I'm going to fucking say about that.
Cool.
So let's move on to social media issues.
Okay. Music.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, you learned.
Oh, God. See, I brought my bass here tonight because I thought that you and I could probably just do the music live ourselves. When you say you want to come over and record something with me, I'm bringing my bass. We've been talking about this shit for so long.
I will stick that in somewhere. All right, so what do you got for social media issues?
I'm more of a voyeur on what.
Really?
No, like I don't like to post. You know, and I'm bad at promoting myself, and I do like.
Dude, I'm terrible at it.
Facebook and Instagram. I'm terrible at Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram as a means to promote yourself and your business. If you're self-employed, great. For you to use it as a soapbox for something that could be perceived as controversial, and to start a conversation when starting a conversation is one thing, and I do get angry about people posting political stuff. Unless, and I have a friend who's a musician, Zach Longoria, is incredible at Facebook. He has his political stance. That dude goes out and makes shit happen.
Right.
He's talking to legislators. He's talking to lawmakers. He's in Frankfurt. He's doing stuff because he believes in it.
Right.
So good on you, dude. You know what? I'll sit there and I'll read you. I don't agree with most of it, but you know what? I like what you're doing. I respect your hustle.
Right.
And good on you, Zach. So when you're backing your shit up, but if you're just using it to start something, or you have an opinion, you want to feel like somebody's listening to you, man, like go get a podcast.
Hey, we have one of those.
or like go on Facebook, or go do something. Start a blog.
You know what I say at the end of every episode? Go do some shit.
Yeah.
And you know who I got that from?
Moody?
Nope.
Who?
Guy named Gary V.
Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Look him up if you've never seen him.
Okay.
That dude will make you want to climb mountains.
Really?
Yep. Now, he says it a little bit different than I do because I didn't want to just completely rip the guy off, but he was given a keynote speech at some university. And I'm not going to bore everybody with the details, but he is social media, basically.
Okay.
I mean, this dude's a fucking genius. But he was given a speech and he was taking questions, and this guy asked him a question, and his response was, and I quote, "Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings, bro."
Right.
He was trying to motivate this guy and get him to see the truth. And he was like, "You don't like it? Go do something.
Yeah.
Do something about it. Do shit." That's what he said. And I went, it's fucking genius.
It makes sense.
It makes complete sense. Go do some shit. If you don't like what the hell's going on, change it.
Yeah, you know, if you're in like corporate world, will tell you, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions.
Absolutely.
So if you see me, if I ever post anything, it's probably because I'm actually promoting a gig, which I'm terrible at doing, and I apologize to every band I've ever played in for that. I'm terrible. I'm just horrible. But you know, I'll post that. If I'm sitting at home or at work or at the bar and something just comes across me and I chuckle out loud.
You totally just said chuckle.
Well, yeah, if I make myself chuckle out loud.
You said chuckle twice.
I know.
That's 4 times.
I chuckle a lot.
That's 5. Look at me. I know my numbers.
But I'll put something like that on there. Like, if
Right.
people think it's funny, great. It's not offensive.
No.
I'm not pissing anybody off. Or if I find a kitty cat or a little baby fox or a little baby puppy dog picture on the internet, I want to post that little bastard on there, you know? It's a cute little guy. You know what I mean? That's just where I am with life.
My wife Stacy, she's an amazing woman, and her response to social media on her episode was one of my favorites because I said, "All right, what do you like about it?" She went, "Kids and puppies," and that was
Yep.
it. She was like, "I'm done."
Nope.
Kids and puppies. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I get it.
And just like everybody else, yeah, post pictures of your family. Do stuff like that, you know.
No, I get it, and you know the 3 rules on my show. I won't talk about politics, religion, or sports.
Well, because those were my next 3 topics I was going to bring up. I was going to talk about Trump and the Chicago Cubs and Christianity. Not going to fly? Okay. All right, Steve. Okay, you can get your hands off my throat, Steve. I got it.
No, what I was going to say is the last few episodes, and a couple of them haven't posted yet, so you haven't heard them, but you'll hear them by the time this posts. They've said the same thing. Like they're in, what did they call it? One of them called it, I think Ryan Murphy called it Facebook reform. I think that's what he called it.
Nice.
Todd's episode, he said he's in Facebook reform too. What they were talking about is they were both massive political posters.
Oh.
And they would get all this shit started and then just sit back and watch the storm.
Wow.
And somewhere along the way, they went, wait a minute, this is really fucking dumb. And they both stopped.
Good for them.
So, but the point I'm getting to is, even though I won't talk about politics on the show, I've noticed that the majority of people that, quote, have really big issues with social media or their social media blowing up all the time are the ones that make the political posts.
Yeah.
Stop trying to change people's minds and their opinions, because it never fucking works.
Right.
I can look at you till we're both blue in the face and try to convert you to what I believe. Probably not going to happen. What people forget, and this is my opinion, you can have a conversation and have opposing views. Regardless whether it's political, music, that water bottle is square, not round.
Right.
Doesn't matter what the fuck it is. But you can have a conversation and have opposing views and still be friends. What people do on social media is they get on their little high horse.
Yeah.
God damn it, I wish I had a camera in here. Because you like the stance right here, don't you? They get on their little, they get on their little high horse and they typey, and they're gods or goddesses.
But one thing everybody can agree on, that if I post a kitten on there, everybody on earth will think it's cute.
That is so true, except that one dude.
And there's always one.
There's always one.
And there's always that one guy who's got to, like, who a lot of people are passive aggressive. And there's a lot of that out there.
Oh, yeah.
And, just waiting for somebody, you post out to the world to get a reaction out of one person. And you know what? Whole thing's bullshit. Put kittens on there. Put little baby foxes, little puppies. Put your kids up there for us to see. Show us accomplishments. Show us great things.
I like the baby foxes. Where'd the baby fox thing come from?
I've talked to a few people. I'm working on getting a little baby fennec fox.
No shit.
I've been in the works to get one for about 4 months. Don't know if it's going to happen because they're kind of illegal in Kentucky. But there's like some loopholes, and I have to move because I have to build a little sand pit in there for that little bastard. But man,
kind of illegal. I have to move. That's good.
But oh god, they're just so damn cute. I wanted a little bastard running around. It's like the tail and the ears and the It's too much to deal with, man.
That is the greatest thing ever. You're like a Christmas tree right now of just red joy. I love it.
I'm just jolly. But put those up there, guys.
No, I agree.
That's
I think I've.
Let me see when you're playing. Put something cute up there. Put something funny up there. I'm done.
Okay, then I'll just
No. I'm done with. I'm done with all that. No, but what do you?
No, I was just gonna say that past couple episodes, one of my favorite things I've ever said on this show: pipe down on the fucking negativity.
Yeah.
Just pipe down on the negativity.
There's enough of that stuff going
there's
around.
enough. Don't feed it.
No.
Don't make it worse.
That's what Reddit's for. Like, go get on Reddit.
Oh yeah, and stop shitting on everything too. Not everything sucks.
And quit with the damn Snapchat filters, man. I know you're cute. Let me see how cute you are. You don't need your little puppy ears and your I know it's just cute. I don't need it.
What, Jessica A. The one thing I love about her is she called herself out for using the shit. And I said, Jess, I can't believe you did that. She goes, what? I use it. I admit it. It gets old, but I use it. It was pretty damn funny.
Well, you know what, girls, it's a different thing. When I've worked behind bars, and I see girls with their arms stretched all the way out, and they're posing in front of their cell phone in a bar when 50 people are looking at them, I chuckle.
That's 6 for those keeping score.
I get a kick out of it, and then it's a different. You don't see guys doing that. You'll see guys with their arms around their bros and like put up in the air, like what's up,
Yeah, but my favorite is when the dudes put on the beauty app, motherfucker. We're friends,
what?
And your skin is not that smooth, and your teeth ain't that white. Don't even fuck with me on this.
So I hope I didn't go too long on social media. I get all my feelings about it.
Dude, I don't give a fuck how long I go on my shows. I'm not like Mr. Hale. No, I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck how long we go.
I'm the one keeping him.
Oh, are you?
I just want to go home.
All right, so let's move on to stories from the stage. So what do you got for me? Give me something. Give me something that sticks out in your head.
I mean,
There's no rules for this except you had to be involved.
Okay, well, I've been involved in love stories from many stages. I don't know about you. You know, you drummers get to sit down the whole time, and you know, you don't get to see a lot of what's going on. And I've been known.
Well, especially me, I have ego lights, so I've been told. Yeah. Actually, I can't even say that. I named them ego lights because that's what they are. Karen.
No, they're great. You know, I'm not Chuck, and I'm not Moody. I'm not an entertaining bass player. I'm not. I've been accused of looking like I just left my office job and gotten up on stage.
You're one of those dudes I talked about on Moody's episode that I got some of the hate mail from.
I didn't send you any hate
mail. You didn't.
I admit it.
You didn't.
I'm terrible.
Yeah, you didn't.
But
you're not a terrible player, though.
No. Oh, thank you. But usually it's because I'm counting. I'm back there. But, like, you know, when I'm hitting, yeah, I mean, yeah, there are head nods and, you know, there are things like that. But, you know, when you see me moving around,
right,
I might be a little gassy. Just putting that out there. Hey, watchmaker. Hey, Jim bro. Hey, Screaming John. How you doing, man? Screaming be like, go back over the fill zone, Eric. Deadheads will get that joke. But, you know what? I'm gonna come over and share some love with you.
I got nothing.
But you know, I mean, no, I've had.
That's fantastic.
I've had the mic in my face before, like, you know, people falling into the stage. I've had all that, and it's nothing new. It's stuff we deal with. But the best thing that ever happened to me.
Here we go.
I think this is 4 years ago. Derby Eve, the Predators. It was my first Derby Eve with them.
Right.
And Mike Mills from R&amp comes on the stage with Beth Bears from Two Broke Girls, the blonde chick from Two Broke Girls.
Gotcha.
They're up there, and you know, I'm playing, and you know, and I'm not Moody and Chip and Chuck and all those. I play a 5-string bass, and I sit back, you know, and you know, they say I cheat. I don't care. I'm playing a 5-string, and I love it. I don't care. So we go into like this hip hop breakdown,
right?
And Thanx on drums, and he's look over, and I hear he's like, and that bass player over there, and he's rapping, and I'm just in my groove trying not to suck in front of Mike Mills. Automatic for the People got me through my like 14-year-old emotional shit, you know what I mean? So I'm up there just like getting out this groove, and he's like, you know, basically, I can't do his rap, but he said, you know, he's a better bass player than me because he's got 5 strings or something like that, which is a joke. It's a bass joke, but just be acknowledged by Mike Mills from freaking R&amp, sharing the stage with him, first of all, but then being called out, you know, by Mike Mills, dude. Yeah.
No, that is pretty cool.
That was pretty incredible for me. So as far as stage stuff goes, yeah, I've been through all that crap. I've never fallen off stage though. I bet. Yeah. So for everybody out there in Bar Starland, he is got this big neon sign pointing right to him.
Yes, kids, I have fallen off stage. More than once.
You've fallen back off stage.
I have fallen off.
Through?
No, I've never fallen through one. I did a festival many years ago. And if you have done any kind of festivals, you know that the stages are usually hit or miss. But one of the most common stages for an outdoor festival is an 18-wheeler flatbed trailer.
Yep.
Fell right off the fucking back of that damn thing. Landed on my back.
Oh.
Brutal. Show was over. I was done. I went home. Yes, I have fallen off at least 3. I'd have to think about it, really think about it, but at least 3. But that's not about me.
Even falling
about
off a drum riser has got to hurt like a bitch.
Weirdly, I've never fallen off a drum riser. I have tripped up one.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get on it.
So you'll fall off a 5 foot, 6 foot tall, but a 6-inch drum riser, you're good.
Fantastic. Never fall off those. Fuck it, man. Go big or go home, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
6 inches, this won't do enough damage. I'm going to fall 10 feet.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Since it is derby time, well, we just passed derby time, but it's pretty close.
And then by the time this airs, it'll be 4th of July. So
I'm
since it's
not-
Independence Day, go live, bro.
Actually, I'm not that far ahead. I try not to go that far ahead.
Just giving you shit.
I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go live. You know why? Because if I go live, I can't put all my magic on it.
I got no magic.
Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. You got lots of magic.
Got no magic.
You got a bunch of mics and a mixer. I got this and that.
You got more than that than I could ever put in a whole freaking bar.
Since we just got past derby time, I'm going to give a derby story as well. The only thing is I don't remember if it was derby eve or derby night. But that part is irrelevant. I got to play with Margo Raimundo, who is Alex Raimundo's sister. Alex Raimundo owns a tequila company, but Margo Raimundo has a record that she did a few years ago. Margo Raimundo was also married to the comedian Ron White.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal singer. Amazing. Couldn't have been nicer.
Beautiful.
Super, beautiful woman, absolutely.
And he's tater salad.
And he's tater salad. They're divorced now, by the way.
Yeah, I heard.
I didn't know that. But that's not the story
Right,
part.
sorry.
The story part is the quote, I'm doing air quotes, kids, was the headliner, quote, was Ruben Studdard. Ruben Studdard decided that he couldn't show up for a sound check or rehearsal because we were the backup band. We were backing up Margo Raimundo and Ruben Studdard. He couldn't show up for rehearsal because he was too drunk.
Dude, you came in second place on Idol, dude. Like, come on. Catch an AA meeting. You know?
So he shows up 10 minutes before we're supposed to play. Our set time. Room's packed. Derby dress, ball gowns, tuxes, famous people, whole 9 yards. He shows up. We go on stage. We knew what songs we were supposed to do. I don't even remember. There is video of this on YouTube, so it's not like I'm talking out of school. And besides that, fuck you, I was there. He proceeds to throw the band under the bus
Oh, damn.
on a microphone. Now, I am not going to brag, but I'm going to brag. The band was made up of me, Carl Stuck, Chip Adams, Mike Engelstead, and a percussion player that I cannot remember his name right now. I apologize. But just the four of us,
Yeah.
that's a
Pretty solid.
pretty solid fucking band, if I
Yeah.
do say so myself.
Pretty solid.
So Ruben proceeds to throw us under the bus. So at some point after we got done playing, I proceed to run my mouth. Imagine that. Me running my mouth.
Off stage.
Off stage. I did.
Okay.
Of course I did it off stage.
Okay.
And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically said, fuck that big fat non-singing hack. Or something to that effect. Who went to the track and got drunk all day? Not my problem.
No.
If you'd have showed up for sound check, we could have worked out any, quote, new issues or anything that you wanted to do. Because basically he wanted to do this whole 20-minute long thing where he pulled people up from the crowd to sing a song with it. Nobody told us that, which is no big deal anyway, because all we had to do was hold down the groove. I know how to do my fucking job.
Right.
That's what we did. He didn't like the groove.
Okay, well.
This went nowhere because he got hammered. So the saving grace part of the story is his manager got him the fuck out of the building and came back and found each one of us in the band and apologized to our face.
Wow.
Which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos to that guy.
Did not have to do
Did
that.
not have to do that.
No.
But he apologized to each one of us. I thought that was really, really cool. So that's my derby story.
Nice.
I had to put up with Ruben Studdard being a fucking complete drunk asshole. A lot of fun that was. Margo, amazing.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun playing her tunes because I had to learn, I think we learned 3 or 4 of her original tunes. Maybe 5. I don't remember. This was a few years ago. This was 2011?
Nice.
2010, something like that. I had to look on YouTube to find it. But we had to learn 4 or 5 of her tunes, and that was a lot of fun because I don't do a whole lot of like Latin type music. So it was cool for me because I had to stretch myself and figure out how to play that stuff. And like I said, she was really, really cool, really gracious. But I said this on Ryan Murphy's episode about Vinnie Vincent. Fuck that guy. So about Ruben Studdard. Fuck that guy.
All right.
So let's move on to what are you listening to?
Yeah. What are you listening to?
So what are you jamming on? And it can be a podcast. It can be old, new. It doesn't. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I just want to know what's got your earball's attention.
I mean, dude, I'm boring. Like in the car. I told you it's gonna be a boring show, bro. I have to learn a lot of music a lot. So, like, when I'm in my car, I listen to NPR.
Dude, I get it.
But-
I'm not going to slam you for that because I've said that on countless shows here.
And podcasts, I listen to podcasts. When I'm at home, I rarely listen to anything new. The new Leon Bridges album, oh gosh,
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, he's remarkable. Coming Home was his debut. It's Sam Cooke, you know.
Gotcha.
So, but you know, I have a record collection at home, and when I'm at home and I'm in my kitchen, I turn on my record player and I listen to the classics, you know. And I like to buy, and a lot of people are gonna give me shit about this. I like to buy the classic albums that have been remastered and redone, and this 50th anniversary edition with all the extra cool shit. Yeah, I'll spend $100 on a record. I don't care.
Why? I wouldn't give you shit
So
about that.
you know. So, like, all of D'Angelo's records, all of, you know, working on all of Stevie's records. I mean, Songs in Key of Life was just this big, huge set of,
Right.
you know, Live Dead. A lot of great Oasis. Love listening to Oasis. You know.
Those boys was crazy.
It's so crazy. So, but, you know, like What's the Story of Morning Glory I thought it was remarkable. I didn't like the rest of their stuff, but What's the Story of Morning Glory I thought was great.
Right.
So I listen to that, and you know, Mad Season, and like a lot of those.
I always thought Mad Season got kind of I thought they were a little underappreciated.
Oh yeah, that was
My opinion.
Oh.
I think that album's great.
Remarkable, but you know, and then the Isleys, you know, like I mean, it's my favorite band of all time. So I'm gonna sit there and listen to 3+3, and you know, Go for Your Guns, and Footsteps in the Dark. Like that's what I listen to when I'm at home.
See, that's. I say it all the time on the show and about the show. That's one of the cool things about doing this is I learn so much shit because I would have never pegged you for listening to that kind of stuff like in your free time when you're not learning tunes.
That's what I love.
No, and that's cool. It's not a judgment. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a cool thing for me to get to go, holy fucking shit.
Well, when I started playing, when I was playing with Dennis Irvin, you know, that's how I learned. Like, I
Right.
had to be at his house at 10 o'clock every day because he was going to make me a professional musician. And it was every day,
Damn.
Monday through Friday, at his house. And some days we're going to play guitar. Some days we're going to do some stuff. Some days we're going to sit there and smoke some weed and listen to the Isley Brothers all day long. Some days I got to take him and run an errand for him. You know? But I learned how to be where I needed to be to, you know, do what I do now from him, and listen to the Isley Brothers with him.
No, all I was gonna say to add to that is I think somewhere along the way the jadedness takes over because one of the things I do with some of my more advanced students, they'll come 2 or 3 weeks in a row and they won't touch a stick because I'm trying to get them to think a certain way.
Yeah.
Or listen to a song a certain way, or listen to an artist like you with the Isleys. I think it would be cool if we could get back to that. Does that make sense?
Wouldn't
like
it?
musicians as a whole, instead of saying, "Oh, go to YouTube and find that." But what? But why? Tell me. I want to know why.
Because we played 47 bands and we got to learn shit on the fly, and we have the technology to do it.
No. I get that, but what I'm saying is, I think it's cool that you used to do that, even the smoking weed and listening to the Isleys, because you're still getting that knowledge. Because he's dropping knowledge on you,
And it was remarkable. Yeah. And he would have me think a certain way to figure out how to play a chord differently.
right?
You know, so like that was really cool. And then when I started playing bass, he's like, well, shit, like, you got to come play bass, Eric. And I never got to. He never had a chance before he passed.
Right.
And, and if it wasn't for that, I would have never been in the Predators, would have never played in Soul Circus, would have never played with, a lot of the great bands, Dirty Church, would have never played in some of these great bands that I was able to if I didn't go cut my teeth and sit in his small apartment, smoky, hot-ass apartment, and listen to Isley Brothers records.
Nice.
Still one of the best times of my life.
No, and that's cool. And technology be damned, social media be damned, electronics be damned. There's something to be said in every generation for those small moments. I don't give a shit if you grew up in the 50s or you're growing up now.
Yeah.
There's those small moments that mean more to an individual because of personal growth than anything else. I've had some of those. I mean, I've had more than some of those. I've had plenty of those, but the one that comes to mind was when Tom Knight, the guy that does my intro for the show, he was also one of my drum instructors at AIM. Stupid good fucking drummer.
Yeah.
One of my... he's probably one of my idolish heroes, and I had no idea who he was before I went to AIM. I didn't know the fucking guy. And when I met Tom, I love you, brother. He's just a lanky redneck from Georgia.
Yeah.
Motherfucker toured with TLC.
Damn.
He was their drummer. He played Budokan 4 nights in a row. He's done shit for Stevie Nicks. He's done shit for Monica, Pink, Brandy, as far as drumming wise. But he toured with TLC for a long time. But the point I'm getting at is the first time I saw him play, I went, oh my God, that dude is so fucking good. But the moment that I'm getting to is when I finally got into his class. We were sitting there and he was kind of explaining this, that, and the other. And granted, even though I was 29 and a lot of the other kids were kids that were in their early 20s, we had all played at some level. Like I'd done a tour already and all that kind of bullshit,
right.
And I'd already cut a couple records. So I knew what I was doing. But the moment where it started to really kind of make me forget everything I knew, he just kind of looked at me and he said, why do you follow your bass player?
Whoa.
And I said, it's because it's the rhythm section, it's the foundation. He said, yeah, that's the canned answer. Why aren't you following your guitar player? That's a really good fucking question. He said, why aren't you following your singer? Why aren't you Point is, he goes to the whole list of instruments, and then he pulled up some song samples. He pulled up Sade. Then he pulled up some early Michael McDonald before he got cheesy. And then he pulled up some Isley Brothers, and he pulled up all this stuff, and we just went through 30, 45 seconds of each thing. He said, it's obvious you're going to follow your bass player. You guys have to be together. He said, but who's to say you can't follow everything else too to make that song as good as it can possibly be? He said, most drummers fall short because they only listen to their bass player. They aren't paying attention to anything else.
Listen to Paradise, the Sade Lovers Live. That version of that song. And you talk about that rhythm section being...
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, so good. And I know what you're talking about because as Tom and I became friends, we would hang out after school time or whatever, and we would sit in his office and he would show me all these records that I didn't know about because I was still, even though I was in my late 20s, I was still, give me this. I want to know what this is. Give me that. Give me that. I did metal for so long. I don't know anything. Give me this. And he showed me a bunch of Sade records and shit. But I thought it was cool because I've been kind of leaning that way my entire drumming journey because I started out in a tool shed with a guitar player for 2 or 3 years. That's how I learned how to play. Me and this dude in a tool shed with a guitar. That was it. I didn't fucking play with a bass player, which is why I lean towards guitar players now, and I did at the time. So wrap this whole thing up. What I'm getting at is when he told me that, I went, cheap bar star sound effects. Like, that's what I'm already doing.
Right.
And it's okay that I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my buddies were going, well, you need to lock with your bass player. You're just a freak because you're not. And I'm like, no, I'm really not a freak. I like the song as a whole. You know what I mean?
Depends on what the song calls for.
Right, but you get what I'm saying. That was one of those moments that meant more to me than probably my whole education. And if you look to your left, you see where my degree is.
Right, yeah.
It's fucking right there. But that moment where it was like, this guy can play me under the table, half asleep, with a needle hanging out of his eye. And I would still never be as good as him, but he's telling me that the way I'm approaching music is okay. He's got platinum records on his wall in his office, but the way that I'm playing is actually okay.
Wow.
That's what I mean about that moment. That moment meant more to me than anything because I went, I'm not a freak.
It's your first year at AIM and you have somebody validating you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a freak.
Right.
I kind of know what I'm doing, and it's okay that I'm doing that.
Right.
It's the same thing with you, smoking weed and listening to Isley Brothers, and you're getting all that groove and soul, and you're going, holy shit, I can fucking do this. It's okay. That's what I was getting at. It's a really long story, but that's what I was kind of getting at.
Makes a lot of sense, too.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm still baffled by Miller.
Fuck that guy. That guy's so good.
I mean...
Do you listen to Brian Bromberg? Oh, my brother. Go check him out.
Who's that guy?
He is a bass player who writes his own shit, but he also does quite a few covers his way. And he does a cover of I'm Only Human.
Okay.
It's so good. He's done a bunch of shit. He's done Love Shack and a bunch of stuff. But
okay, cool.
He's a bass player, and he's really, really good.
Nice.
I wouldn't say he's like Marcus. He's a little different. He's not super, super soloistic. He's built a band around himself. He's got a sax player, keyboard player, guitar player. Drummer's really good. He uses a bunch of different drummers on his records, but he's got probably 15 records. He's been around for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to check him out. I don't know how that one slipped past.
Oh, he's really, really good.
Sweet.
So there you go. So now I gave you something to listen to.
Nice. I will take that and put it in my pocket.
I want to be in your pocket.
Yeah, you do.
Well, that's it, kids. That's a show for the week. Anything else you want to add, Mr. McEwen?
Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh,
this is a lot of fun.
Thanks for
I
coming
get to
over.
stare in your eyes the whole time.
I'm very sorry for that.
No, I'm very titillated.
That's all right. Might I add, you have a very nice voice, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So where can everybody find you? Plug all your shit. Yeah, that's great. Nobody cares.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I will be better at posting my gigs. So
Yeah, you should because you're fucking good.
yeah,
And you're in a lot of bands.
Thank you. Yeah, well, yeah. So check out Speaker on Facebook. Check out Chase Skinner's Facebook. Check out Amber Steele. Who else do I play for?
For fans of my show, you guys can never call me a whore again. You win, my brother.
Definitely check out Rockadelic. A lot of good stuff coming up, but send me a friend request, Erik McEwen, and find me. I'll add you, and then we'll come hang out, and I'll let you buy me a beer.
Sweet. And Shooting from the Lip is live every Tuesday, correct?
Every Tuesday, 8-ish.
From
At Baxter's 942 and worldwide on Apple, Google Play, and iHeartRadio.
Damn, maybe I need to have. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, and definitely check out the podcast where you find the Bar Star podcast because we're right there with you too.
Yes, you is. Yes, you is. I'm on a few more places because I'm a slut. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome. So it's every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
And it is live on Facebook on Tuesday, though. That's the important
Facebook
part.
Live at the Shooting from the Lip. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff I'm plugging here. But hey,
That's
you know
okay.
what? And
You
this is
need
what we
to.
tell people. Come on out and hang out with us, too. We
Absolutely.
love that. If you got something you want to pitch to the show, if we can't get you on that day, we'll work it out.
I'm just going to come all the time. Wait.
Don't threaten me with
What?
a good time.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's it. We're out of here. I hope you guys learned something about Mr. Erik. I hope you go see some of his many projects and check out Shooting from the Lip. And if I pay Kevin Hale enough, he may show up and do an episode with me on my show. Actually, wait. He owes me at least one because I've done 2 of his shows.
So is this?
Damn it.
Is this check any good, or do I need to wait to cash it?
Give it about a week and a half.
Week and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Give it about a week and a half. That's it. We're out of here. And as I say at the end of every episode, go do some shit. Seriously, go. Eric, tell him. Beat it. Get the fuck out of here. Not you, them.
Oh, okay.
Not you, them.
Man, go do some shit. Damn.
So until next time, I will talk at you soon.